Morning, family. Happy Sunday to you, wherever you are right now. So, today for a few minutes, I'm going to talk about something called open monitoring. Open monitoring. So this is the 10% happier self-care journey. Sorry, I had to get the sun out of my eyes. This is the 10% happier self-care journey. And today is January 19th, 2020. So this morning I did yet another session in the 10% happier course. And I'm in a course called Meditation in the Brain. And I love it because I'm heavily into neuroscience and anything that's in the field of psychology or dealing with the brain and cognition and all that kind of good jazz. It's the other form of jazz in my life. So, open monitoring. I think it's sometimes called clear awareness, I think it is. It's another term as well. I forget the name of it. It's two other terms. But basically, in a nutshell, to give you the gist of what this is and what it's about, I often talk about meditation from the perspective of most people, or many people, thinking that meditation is about clearing your mind, and then you start to meditate once you can finally clear your mind. But it's actually the exact opposite. It's actually the reps. It's actually the push and pull of being able to focus on the breath and then your mind wandering. So this practice, which is called open monitoring, is about being intentional about your mind wandering, like intentionally allowing your mind to wander. And because you're setting an intention for that, it means that your awareness, like you're actually thinking about the fact that you're thinking about things. So your mind is going to inevitably wander as it is. It's just because, that's what the mind does. But with this practice, you're actually focusing on what the mind is wandering off to focus on. And you're not trying to reel it in. That's the most important part. You are not trying to reel it in. You're allowing it to wander, allowing it to do what it's going to do. And that's a focused practice that most of us are not used to. It's a very subtle thing, very simple, very subtle thing. But most of us are not used to that. So one of the cool things about this practice is that as I've been practicing it, I've noticed something. And I mentioned it yesterday in the self-care session yesterday. I was saying that, with this kind of focusing on where your mind is wandering and allowing it to wander, like allowing all of your experiences in, interestingly, in a very significant reverse psychology way, it actually helps you to focus better. For some reason, the more inviting you are to other thoughts in your experience that's outside of, what you're trying to accomplish with your breathing and that kind of thing, or to focus on your body, the more you allow it in, the more focused you are. And I get it, really. It's one of those things where your mind, it's the simple act of paying attention, the awareness that you have of what you're thinking, that allows you to separate your thoughts and it allows you to focus. The cool thing about it is that, like I said, contrary to popular belief, you don't need thoughts to go away in your experience in order for you to have this experience of peace and calm and focus on the breath and that kind of thing. You're able to be right in the midst of the chaotic thoughts, and they don't affect you one bit. Now of course, we call this practice for a reason. This is not something that happens overnight, and it's something that, just like with doing cardio or weight training and that kind of thing, you just get stronger and stronger. You just have more and more retention. But the overall effects on your whole life is like, words can't express. So tomorrow, when I do the self-care session for tomorrow, we'll actually practice some open monitoring together. And so I'm keeping it relatively short today as far as the session, because I also want to tell you all about where I'm headed. So this morning I'm headed to Unity Center of Light, which is in Bowie, Maryland, and I'm very excited. This is a place where I go a couple times a year. They're pretty much like family, and I'm excited not only because I get a chance to present, which is always a blast, just in and of itself. I get to present, my piano music and as an artist and as a creator. But the highlight of this morning is that for the very, very first time, I will get the opportunity to, for the first time ever in public, I will get the opportunity to present my guided meditation called Breathe Deeply. And that's exciting because firsts are always exciting, right? So this is the first time I'll ever be leading a group of people in a guided meditation. When I was a Christian, of course, I led many people in like traditional prayer. But a guided meditation, is much different. And so I'm excited because this pretty much unveils like a whole new chapter of my life when it comes to this form of expression. And so that's super exciting. So you all know that I'm going to record it. I was going to live stream it, but my phone is acting weird, and when I'm using Facebook, it won't allow me to turn it into landscape mode. So I'm just going to record it, and then I'm going to air it afterwards. And I can't wait. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to share this. Very, very exciting, and I'm honored to be able to do this. So, the coolest part about my journey, this self-care journey, is that I've been able to practice for myself, and then I'm able to share with the people this way via, documenting my journey. And then I get to also put it right into practice as far as, sharing it and developing my own brand, my own practice. So in fact, what I'm going to do now, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream, is I've been telling you all that my particular brand of meditation, that I'm trying to really coin, is the 30-second meditation technique. And the reason why is because it makes meditation accessible to everybody. Like there's no reason, no excuse, because all it is taking 3 deep breaths and having 10 seconds of mindfulness. So what I'm going to do right now, especially because I've been talking about this and do it in demonstration, is very simple, nothing major, but I'm going to do it right now. And so the goal is for you to do it with me. And all we're doing is taking 3 deep breaths, long inhales, long exhales, and then 10 seconds of mindfulness. And that's it. If you've never meditated before, number 1, you can say that you have now. And number 2, we can all finally realize that you don't have to be seated in a lotus position in a quiet room with candles and scented oils, Indian style, with your fingers touching, in order to meditate. For years, this was my form of meditation. It was literally driving and just practicing mindfulness. I wasn't as into deep breathing, but I was definitely into mindfulness. So here we go. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths. Long inhales, long exhales. So let's take a deep breath in and out. Second deep breath in and out. Then one more final deep breath in and out. And then we just take 10 more seconds of mindfulness just to stay in that quiet place, that stillness, that presence of that moment. And that is it. The cool thing I like about that is that it's totally accessible. You can do it anytime, any place. I don't care who's around, in the words of Janet Jackson. And also it's good because, like right now, and I even feel better, even though I was already feeling good, because taking deep breaths like that allow you to slow your heart rate down and really relax. So I like to use it as a form of preventative self-care, where the goal is not to wait until, all hell breaks loose, and then you're taking deep breaths, but your deep breaths are like. Speaking of which, right, I'm gonna go ahead and let the cat out the bag right now. So me and my foolish self, and working to show more of my fool in 2020. One day I'm gonna surprise you all because I'm gonna pop up with a meditation that's like a meditation parody, and it's gonna be the total opposite of an actual meditation. So I'm gonna be doing all kinds of like exact opposite, like oxymoronic stuff. Like we're just gonna take this time to breathe. So take a deep breath. Breathe. Now. Just for fun, right? I'm going to do some fun content. Just kind of tripping. Come on, breathe. Take a minute to be present. Present, goddammit. Get some hilarious laughs. Anyway, always remember that taking deep breaths and doing this kind of mindfulness is preventative maintenance. You're practicing so that when things get tough, you can already be in a mindset of peace and stay there. And the first thing you'll think of is taking your breaths or, practicing your mindfulness. So just remember that. Whatever you're going through, a deep breath will really do a world of favors for you. So give yourself that opportunity, and remember that it takes no effort. It literally is just a thought and an intention away. And on that note, peace, and as always, be well. Take care.